we will begin the topic Delhi Public Library. This is from paper 1 and unit 2. So if you have the syllabus with you, you can browse over it and see the details about it. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So as we know, this is the, I would say, very vibrant public library of our country. And this was established in the year 1951. I have mentioned couple of times to you that this was established as a pilot project of UNESCO. Pilot project meaning that something which is established in order to know how good it is functioning and to know the lacunas happening in that particular area and how to overcome it. So that is what is known as pilot. Means you begin something with on a small scale with limited resources, then you build on those resources and make it a big organization. That is called pilot project. So at that time, after independence, it was established in the year 1951 by the then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, so the headquarter of Delhi Public Library is located in Chandni Chowk. You might have heard about this area. Chandni Chowk is a very famous area of Delhi, and it
Delhi.
is near,
Delhi.
yes, old Delhi railway station. Has anyone visited ever this place?
Yes, ma'am.
When did you visit?
2-3 years back.
Okay.
Uh, yes, ma'am.
So how is that area? That's very congested area. If you ever go
Yes, ma'am.
there,
But they
it's
have changed it now. The main road has been,
mm,
prohibited for the local transport so that people can walk.
yes.
And others, the gully and वो जो छोटे छोटे roads तो वो है ही हैं. But
There is a
otherwise,
little parathe ki gali there, if you have seen.
yes, ma'am. I have visited there also, but इतना famous भी नहीं रहा वो.
Huh, but
इतना
then it
अच्छा.
is famous in the way that,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, do you
Yes, ma'am.
get all kinds of paratha and
Yes,
stuff.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Bhindi paratha, meetha paratha, and
yes,
mixed paratha, cheese paratha, and
yeah,
everything.
yeah,
They have a lot of parathas there.
true, true. So it's a very nice place to visit and, get an idea of the variety and diversity of the North India, especially. Okay, so this library was when it was established, and still now it is providing library services to children, adult, and it is free irrespective of any discrimination with regards to religion, sex, caste, creed, or anything else. And specifically, they fulfill the recreational needs of the members of its library. And also, this India was selected for the public library pilot project at that time by the UNESCO to undertake this. And they started as a model of UNESCO's public library manifesto in Asia. Just remember this particular thing because sometimes it is asked in the exam that which public library has been selected as a model for UNESCO's public library manifesto in Asia. मतलब पूरे एशिया कॉन्टिनेंट में इसको एक मॉडल की तरह सेलेक्ट किया गया. Do you understand that? Fine.
Okay.
So
Yes, ma'am.
this is the basic some introduction about it. And it was at that time Mr. D.R. Kalia was selected as first Indian director of Delhi Public Library. Remember this because sometimes it is asked in your entrance exams or SSC exams and also in your BLIS exams that who was the first Indian director of Delhi Public Library. So the main objective was to provide free public library services to the people of the entire territory of Delhi. You might be aware that Delhi is a union territory. That means it is under the control of central government. So that is why it is called National Capital Territory of Delhi. Okay. And also this library act as a community center for informal education. Informal education, formal education, non-formal education, I have explained you in detail in earlier classes. So for that purpose, as I have already informed you, पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी एक बहुत बड़ा हब की तरह काम करता है उन लोगों के लिए जो एक फॉर्मल स्ट्रक्चर में पढ़ाई नहीं कर रहे हैं बट इनफॉर्मली अपने को एजुकेट कर रहे हैं. ठीक है. So all members, especially I have also informed you about illiterates and literates, and then there is also a community known as neo-literates, the people who have started learning recently. They are not very much educated, but they have started liking getting educated. So for that kind of people also, public library serves in a big way. So the collection of Delhi Public Library, as you can see on the screen, variety of collection is there, such as English, Urdu, Punjabi, and other Indian languages. They have different kinds of material, and it is mentioned that it is right now covering 16 lakhs and over books on variety of subjects such as computer science, information technology, religion, Hinduism, social science, and so on, economics, political science, physics, chemistry, zoology. You can see it is displayed here. So, I mean, starting from astronomy, anatomy to zoology, everything is covered in its library collection. So, talking about the library services, the prominent services of the Delhi Public Libraries are, as you can see on the screen, reference services, lending services, and many more. So talking about reference service, that is to assist the reader in order to find the information, what is available where. As I've already explained you, reference service can be as simple as where the railway station of Delhi is located, or old railway station is located, or what is the distance between Lucknow and Delhi. That kind of question is also treated as a reference question. But if a user asks how to find the latest material available on Omicron on in which is printed in the recent journals of various subjects. So this is also a reference question. The first question which I mentioned is a short range reference service, and the second question which I mentioned is a long range reference service. So do you get the idea? What are reference services, which I have explained you earlier also? So primarily the library staff helps the reader in order to so they can get the material, locate the collection in variety of reference books and other reference tools such as education, training, vocational studies, admission to education institution, employment, various kind of areas. They can get the information with the help of reference tools. Reference tools meaning from where they find the information. So earlier reference tools were available only in print form, and now you get reference tool everywhere on internet which are available through authentic websites. So such as reference tools such as some guides or handbooks, for example, handbook to educational institution, handbook to universities, Commonwealth Universities handbook. This will give you an information about what kind of courses are available in various subjects all over the world. For example, Commonwealth Universities handbook. Then what kind of courses are available throughout India? So Association of Indian Universities had brought out Universities handbook. So that is also a reference tool. Encyclopedias are also reference tools. Dictionaries are also reference tools. We call it tool or reference sources. Meaning is the same. Do you get the idea?
Yes, ma'am.
For example,
Yes, ma'am.
someone is looking for maybe I am looking for someone who is doing a research in Omicron. That person, the expert who is doing a research on Omicron. So probably then I have to browse through the directory or a handbook of CSIR laboratories, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research Laboratories. So there you will get all the researchers' name who are working on Omicron. So these days, since it is available on internet, they have put it on PDF form, they have put it on their website. So those are also reference to. Do you understand the idea now? Okay, so the lending service of Delhi Public Library is the same as any other library. They issue the books for a maximum period of 14 days, then they will give you a borrower card, and the validity of borrower card is 2 years. And there are so many registered members, as you can see, about 2 lakhs available, which are availing the services of Delhi Public Library. Is a massive public library. Then there are special services, mobile library services. Mobile library services, which I have explained you. Do you remember when we talked about this technology-based services, the mobile technology-based services? Those
Yes, ma'am.
are different. That means that is given through the help of handheld devices. What we are talking here is the services which are offered through mobile vans or mobile buses. So you can, as you can see in the picture, Delhi Public Library is taking the big bus as a mobile library to various locations. And for the people who are living in the rural areas and the colonies of Delhi, which are really far off from the main branch of the library and stuff. So they provide service at the doorstep wherever the people are located. And there are 4 mobile vans in 70 areas which are operating in the entire national capital. Is there anything you want to ask so far? Okay. So Braille Library Services. Braille Libraries is another very versatile department of the library of Delhi Public Library, and it is a specialized service which is uh, developed to cater to the reading needs of visually handicapped people. So they have this entire section, and they provide Braille books which are transcribed books in Braille, and every year new Braille books are added to the stock through the purchase or through transcription in Hindi or English language. Total collection of Braille department is 12,000 so and so. And they also have computer terminals for readers. They have the one reading room for 20 readers. The services which are provided through Braille Library, which are described here, which you can very well read, basically transcribing from Braille into Braille from printed book. Those kind of services are also mentioned. And internet facilities, mobile library services covering 18 blind school and institutions all over the Delhi. Mobile libraries, that means Delhi Public Library take their mobile vans to these blind school, take their resources for those blind schools, so their users can use the resources. Also, they have 14 Braille magazines, newspapers for visually impaired people, and they purchase Braille books from other institutions like who are specializing in this AICB, Rohini, NFC, NIVM, Dehradun. So these are the institutions which are working on Braille books and Braille literature. And similarly, they deliver the books and reading material to blind people, and also read newspaper and print material for visually impaired people. Also, they organize some programs for these Divyangjan, blind people, such as debate or speech, essay writing, and poetry recitation, and so on. So far, is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Oh, ma'am.
Okay. So they also have reading room facility. That means for the use of periodicals and newspaper. And they develop this reading room throughout with the help of various resources. And they have made a special provision in South Zone Library of Sarojini Nagar for students who are preparing for competitive exams. So they can, they give them the facility to take the books from the library, or also allow them to bring their own books and study material, so they can sit there and read there, because that give them a conducive environment for preparing for competitive exams. So, and then social education services, they organize group activities among adult members in the central library for developing individual inner talent, and they have many groups which is functioning for drama, music, social study, literature study, music coaching, and such as. And also they arrange book exhibitions, film shows, television program. Those kind of activities are also very much predefined in Delhi Public Library. They also maintain gramophone and music cassette library, which you should one if you get an opportunity, you should see because they are even maintaining the old gramophone records for the purpose of reference. The students can go and just have a look. Sometimes they are keeping those gramophone machines, which students can use to see how the music is recorded at that time and understand the value. And also, they organize several competitions for the adults and childrens, and also for visually handicapped people. They have resettlement colony library service because you might be aware that in our country, lot of resettlement happened at various occasions. Just say, for example, you might have heard at the time in 1990, there were these Kashmiris, lot of Kashmiri Hindus were forced to leave Kashmir and go to various parts of country. So many you might have read in the newspapers or watched in the TV also. So several of these Kashmiris Hindus they came to Jammu region and many of them had come to Delhi. So, in order to settle them, government has made some resettlement colonies. Those are not very good places. Actually, होता क्या है उसमें कम से कम 4-5 फैमिलीज एक ही घर में रहती तो वो एक काफी मुश्किल दौर उन लोग के लिए रहता है और वो वहां पे उनको सरवाइव करना होता है समहाउ तो वहां के लिए भी दिल्ली पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी बहुत बढ़िया ये लाइब्रेरी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करती है उन लोगों को एंड ऑल्सो फॉर द वीकर सेक्शन जो उनको जैसे वो लोअर इनकम ग्रुप को घर दिए जाते हैं रहने के लिए उनके लिए भी ये पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करती है दिल्ली पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी देन दिल्ली पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी हैज स्कीम ऑफ रनिंग डिपॉजिट स्टेशंस ठीक है so they provide books to societies association who are interested to open library in their colonies they impart training to run this deposit station ठीक है मतलब they can have their deposit station in their area where there is no nearby library so they can have these stations public libraries can have this facility so these are some of the places where they have this deposit station जैसे कि आप देख लो even Delhi Public Library have deposit stations at jail prison सेंट्रल जेल तिहाड़ जेल दिल्ली की सुनी होगी आपने वहां पे भी उनके डिपॉजिट स्टेशन है दिल्ली पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी का वहां पे भी एक ब्रांच खुला हुआ है सो एनीथिंग यू वांट टू आस्क सो फार एक ये लीगल डिपॉजिट और समझ लो लीगल डिपॉजिट इज बेसिकली a concept which is given by at the time when we were developing laws legislations and it is declared that government of India has declared Delhi Public Library as the uh, recipient library under delivery of book and newspaper act this is sometimes asked in the exam कि कौन सी जो लाइब्रेरी है पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी इंडिया में वो अंडर लीगल डिपॉजिट आती है तो यू शुड नो दैट दिल्ली पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी कम्स अंडर लीगल डिपॉजिट तो इसका मीनिंग होता है दैट दिल्ली पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी शुड इज एंटाइटल्ड टू रिसीव वन कॉपी ऑफ पब्लिकेशन फ्रॉम द पब्लिशर इन इंडिया फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट मतलब कोई भी किताब हो तो एक ये नियम है लीगल लॉ है कि उन्हें दिल्ली पब्लिक लाइब्रेरी को भेजना है बिकॉज दैट इज अंडर गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया प्रोग्राम ऑफ लीगल डिपॉजिट ठीक है दैट इज अंडर डिलीवरी ऑफ बुक एंड न्यूज़पेपर एक्ट ऑफ 1954 तो कोई भी पब्लिशर नई किताब पब्लिश करता है तो उसको यहाँ पे भेजनी होती है फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट ठीक है
Yes, ma'am.
सो एनी क्वेश्चंस सो फार Okay, so if there are questions, fine. If no, then we will stop here.